Hey guys, how y'all doing? It's me, Johnny, and today is the day. If you weren't there for the live stream, today is the day on which you will see who I got as a reward. It is the best reward I've ever gotten, but first of all, thank you guys so much, man. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I didn't think that in both of the Sorare streams we have done that we could hold over 100 viewers, which is just insane. I personally did not expect anything like it, but you guys have shown so much love during those streams, which really has me excited for more streams in the future, for lineup builders, watch-alongs, scouting sessions, all that good stuff. If you want to join in, link in the description down below, twitch.tv. Also talking about the description, if you guys want to sign up for Sorare, do so now with the link in the description down below, because if you do buy 5 players off the auction market with that link, you will go ahead and get yourself a free limited item. Very important to sign up immediately after clicking the link. And then if you go to invite friends right here at the bottom, it should say Johnny Sports is your referrer. That means the link has been activated in the proper way. Now, why am I saying this? Because the Scottish Premiership is here. A new league has been announced by Sorare just now, and I'm very excited about it. I just want as many leagues as possible to come in and for Sorare to continue growing. One thing I can tell you right now in terms of growth and Sorare themselves, when we go to the charts, you'll be able to see right here that currently we have 119,000 people who have at least one card or more. And more importantly, we have at least 77,800 people who have 5 cards or more, which is quite interesting to look into, because obviously you need at least 5 players to put together a lineup. That, in my opinion, is great to see, and I do expect that graph to continue growing due to the fact that Sorare now once again has smashed it out the park, and they have brought in the Scottish Premiership, a new league to scout, a new league to look into every single year to find the players here and there and make the right choices and test out some new formations, and a new league for the Challenger division as well. The Challenger Europe division is getting bigger and bigger, and there are a lot of people that are demanding that the Challenger Europe division get split up in 2. I personally don't know how I feel about that. I think just keep them all together, but make the prize pool bigger. That's just my opinion. But the Scottish Premiership is here. Celtic and all those boys are here now. But Rangers is missing. There is some commercial issue with Rangers that they are trying to fix to then bring them in again. Now, as you guys might remember, we have gotten ourselves a top 10 finish in the last game week, Gameweek 262, by picking 3 of my best performers for the actual All-Star Rare Pro team. This was the team that got us that result. And this, my friends, is the clip on which you will see what I got specifically. Now, if you guys have been here for a while, you know that I'm very, very proud of this moment, because I have had the issue of not being able to do as well as I hoped a lot of times, shifting things across constantly and changing things up, chopping and changing things up. But the first game week in which I personally felt happy with my gallery and didn't feel the need to buy more players or trade players, this happened. We finished in the 8th position. Enjoy this clip. I'll turn off my camera and you can see my live reaction. Here we go. The moment we have waited for. Top 10 All-Star Rare Pro. Oh, this is actually fitting. What are the odds of me playing a song from Last Samurai on stream live? And it is a player from the Japanese league. Now, here's the deal. This is one of the better goalkeepers I could have got. The moment. So, yes, that, my friends, is the player we have gotten, Takaoka. If we go into our gallery, you will be able to see a new goalkeeper pop up. Yohei Takaoka, who plays for Yokohama Marinos, only 26 years old. Most of the goalkeepers in the Asian region seem to be 30 plus. But this guy right here, at the moment we got him, was going for 2,500. Then someone else who also got him as a reward sold him to one of their buddies without listing him on the market, I believe. and he sold him for a little bit cheaper to him. So technically speaking, I don't look at that value as the one that I should be looking at, generally speaking, but I look at this as the last sale, fair sale on the market. But we have seen Takaoka at way higher prices, 3,500 there, 3,300, 2,800, and it seems like he had a period where he was going for 2,700 a lot. He was going for 2,900 there. Just generally speaking, he is one of the best goalkeepers in the Asia region, and I've asked plenty of current Sorare managers that have been on the platform for a long time. Thankfully, I have access to them for knowledge sharing, and they have come in and told me that this is technically the Noya of the Asian divisions, and that really makes me happy. They just got to figure out who plays in their center-back positions, because if we look at the Yokohama team, we see two players right here in Saneto and Tsunoda. Then we go back into the other game that they've had. Let me go onto this graph here. So we go back onto the other game that they've had, and the big signing, Eduardo, played. Now, and he played alongside Tatanaka as well. So they have to come in and decide who plays, and hopefully we'll have the best players play in that defense and not have it shifting across constantly to bring in some consistency into this team. Eduardo is supposed to be incredible, but he hasn't had that game time too much. And now he's in there and he's being tested. So I'm hoping, I'm really, really hoping that once they are out of the AFC, the Champions League, the Asian Champions League, that they will establish themselves with a top defensive back line and then play against Grampus here and do well against Nagoya Grampus. But it is good to see that he has all this utility coming now in these weeks. 264, 2 games, 265, he has a game, 266, he has a game against Jeonbuk Motors. And in case some people don't know out there, if your player has 2 games and 1 game week, I believe, I'm not 100% sure on this, I believe the first game's points count. That is how it works as far as I know. But Takaoka is huge. Do I need him? That's the big question that we need to answer, because right now we have a super rare goalkeeper from the Japanese league in Slovak, who I'm really happy with. We have a goalkeeper from the Korean division in Yang Hanbin, who is also someone that I'm personally really, really happy with due to him being the first goalkeeper to bring me a clean sheet out of all the ones that I've had. And now I have a third Asian goalkeeper on top, who is amazing and has the potential to get me really, really high scores. The question is, do I need him now? Do I keep him? I personally have listed him up for 2,500 at the moment. If any of you guys wants to buy him, I think I was willing to sell him for 0.85 ETH. If anyone in my community wants to get him for cheaper, I'm going to go ahead and accept an offer of 0.85 ETH just for you guys. But currently he's listed at 0.9 ETH. And I personally really, really hope that I can make the right decision here. Because if we look at players that I should be getting into my club, if we look at things that I need to do, ideally for the summer, I need to bring in someone for the midfield. Because right now for the summer, I have 4 goalkeepers. Slovak, Takaoka, Hanbin, Crepo. Then for defenders, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders. I have for the midfield, I have Pablo Ruiz and Frankie Amaya. So that is not enough. I only have 2 midfielders for the summer. That is an issue. Then for the forwards, I have Javier Hernandez, Ayase Ueda, and Ferreira. So technically speaking, at least 3 in each position should be what I'm looking forward to having. But I only have 2 midfielders, and both of them are under 23. That doesn't mean anything, though, because these guys score really, really well. So they can compete with any older midfielders that they are as well, apart from like the top tier ones. But then saying that, Pablo Ruiz is now a top tier summer player in terms of midfield. I mean, getting 60 plus points in a 6-0 loss is unbelievable, considering that he has a -12 due to the goals conceded. So Pablo Ruiz, I'm looking at as someone that can do an incredible job for me. But then I was also looking at, what do I do with the money that I have now? So if I sell Takaoka and I use the budget that I have on my account, which would then amount to like 3.5K, I personally see that Bitcoin is possibly going to go and test this trend line up here, which is like a 10% increase. If that happens, ETH goes up by like at least 10% as well, possibly 12 to 15. And that could see us see the value of the ETH that we have in the account go up as well. At that point, I would surely have a very, very good budget to spend on a midfielder for the summer. Now, if we go into the player rankings and we go into, let's say, America, and we sort it by midfielder, we see that there is one clear standout player, that is Carlos Gil. He is a big one. And then you have Enzo Fernandez. And then you have Zelarayan, whose team kind of sucks right now. Now, Zelarayan is someone I wanted to buy, but every time I look into his team and I see how they are playing, it worries me. Because this guy is very much capable of doing insane things and getting really, really high scores. But at the same time, his team really struggles right now. Columbus Crew, compared to, I guess, how they were doing before, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I feel like they're not doing too well. Now, it's great to see that Zelarayan got 73 points with no decisive. So that kind of tells me that he's getting back into form. And he currently sells for 1,977, which is another very, very interesting thing. So maybe I use those funds to bring in someone like him who can get me high scores. When they have good matchups, I can put him into the team and do well with him. Because if we look at Columbus Crew, generally speaking, he is clearly the best player. But at the same time, you have him on the free kicks, you have him on the penalties, on the corners as well. It just makes all the difference when you have someone that takes all those things. And at the same time, the one time I watched the Columbus Crew game and he was playing, he was outstanding. He was unbelievable. The way he was getting past people was just ridiculous. And a good thing about him as well is, like, he was going for a lot more. He was going for 2.4K at that point. And then now he's down to like the 1,800, 1,900 region where I could possibly pick him up for that price. So if I do sell Takaoka, I could buy him and still keep some money in the club. So let me know if you guys think this would be a smart choice in the comments down below. I'd happily see what you guys want to like give your input on there. I personally just feel a bit worried about his matchups. That's what kind of worries me. So I was looking at Enzo Fernandez, who obviously is unbelievable. And I genuinely think this kid could be huge, even in Europe. So that kind of tells me, do I basically spend all my money on Enzo Fernandez? He currently is being listed for a lot more. Now, this is one thing that I'm not going to do. I'm not going to buy into his hype. No matter what happens, even if I have the funds, I learned from my mistakes. I'm not buying into the hype of players anymore. At least I'm going to try my best to not do so. Because right now, he's going for a ridiculous price. Considering how much he was going for just a few days ago, he was selling for 3,200 right there, 3,155. And now people are listing him up for 4,200. Due to what? Want another good performance? Like, come on. I fully expect him to be rotated a little bit, to be rested a little bit, and that hopefully impacts his price so that people get more realistic about it. But Enzo Fernandez currently seems to be the best midfielder for the summer period. And that would be something that I'm very, very interested in. At the same time, though, you have some other players that are really, really good this season and go for a low price. Like this Diego Fagundes guy has some great scores this season. 74, 76, 66, 81, 82. And all in the greens throughout the entire season so far for Austin. And it just, like, it brings up a question mark. He goes for 600 euros, right? 600 euros compared to the rest is not that much. Maybe I could even go ahead and get a super rare. Like, that could be something. I could possibly, instead of spending the money on Enzo Fernandez, I could get a super rare of this man because he seems to be performing extremely well this season, seems on top form, and could be a very interesting one to have in the club. Now, if we look at assists, he's the main man. He takes the corners, so that makes all the difference. The corners being taken by him. He's playing in a team that is currently doing really well as well. And based on his scores, it's not just hype. He's just in great form right now compared to before. I mean, his L40 is a 63, so that tells you this guy's good. And I feel like he's way too undervalued. I could buy him literally right now and put him into one of my teams. Like, that's something I could genuinely do, and I'm actually thinking about it. They're playing against Vancouver next, and I can see him do well there as well. Vancouver is not that great. So that's something to consider. Oh, he's not actually going for 600. He's going for a lot more now. Okay, I see you. Well, it makes sense that he goes for a lot more, but still way below the price of the other guys. So maybe something to keep in mind. I'm just in a spot where I'm like, I don't know what to do exactly. So I feel like the only right thing to do is to just sell Takaoka, add that money to the budget, and just wait until I know exactly what I want. So generally speaking, Takaoka probably is going to go. And I think it's going to be the right decision to hold on to the ETH and make a decision later on in terms of, do I want to just go ahead and buy players from the Europe region maybe start investing into the Europe region, because generally speaking, I'm very happy with my teams at the moment. I don't feel like I desperately need to bring in more players, and I'm content about it. But one thing I can tell you guys right now, we have put together the amount I've spent on the account in terms of euros. So far, it's about 40k. 40k I've spent, and my account currently is worth around 35,000 along with the money that we have in the wallet. So that tells me that my account has dropped, is 5k below what I have invested. Now that comes down to a lot of reasons. First of all, I had no strategy going into Sorare, no plan specifically, and I just bought and bought and bought and had no clue what I was doing. I bought limiteds, traded them all for rares, lost a lot of my valuation on the players at that point. I had some really, really bad trades in the past as well, where I lost a lot of ETH value on the gallery. And I have made the mistake of going ahead and buying players in the hype. A lot of the players that I've bought, I bought into them in their hype. Saliba, 1.2 ETH spent on him. He currently goes for 0.57. That is just mental and painful. Payet, I bought for basically double the value that he goes for right now. And again, 50% decrease right there in terms of his value. It's very sad to see, but at the same time, I have around 10 to 11 players that are from the European region, and it is only natural that their price has gone down. That is just normal. So as long as I'm not selling these players, I know for a fact that their values will go back up again, and I will easily be even with the amount that I've spent so far on the account. And the good thing is, I'm at a spot where I'm extremely happy with my gallery, and I'm not wanting to invest more. This is the first month where I did not invest more. I've spent, since December until now, I've put a bunch of money into the account, and I feel like I am going to be able to get back up to the 40k before the European season starts anyways, with just the rewards that I'm going to be getting until then. It only takes 1 or 2 game weeks for us to pull that off. And on top of it, I do feel like the European players, their value going up. By the time the European season comes in, we could be looking at 45 to 50k in terms of the evaluation of the gallery. So I'm not panicking. I'm fully aware I've made mistakes in the past, but for the first time since I've started Sorare, I genuinely feel like I'm in a right spot, and I feel like I'm very happy with my gallery, apart from 1 or 2 things here and there, but I've never been happier with my gallery, and I also am looking forward to this today. We have Slovak Morishiga playing in about 2 hours, 1.5 hours from now. Then we have later on the same day, tonight, we have Olympique Marseille against Nantes, and we also have the likes of Lyon playing against Stade Brestois. If these 2 guys can get me a high score, I will be doing a live stream watch along for the Marseille and Lyon games. Guys, if you want to hop in, link in the description down below. As always, twitch.tv/JohnnySports will be live again if those 2 do well. I'm going to head off to the gym now and basically look at my phone every 5 minutes to check their scores. But guys, have a good one. I'll catch you later on. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know who you guys got in your rewards in the comments down below, and give me your thoughts on the plans that I've basically given to you guys in terms of what I want to do going into the sale of Takaoka and more. Cameron Carter-Vickers, by the way, one of the top players, if not the top player in the Scottish Premiership. So there are some top players coming in. Watch out for them. This one is on loan though, so be careful. The season is going to end soon. Get to scouting in the Scottish Premiership. Welcome to them, and a good thing for all of us in the community. Have a good day. Take care and peace.